This is the EasyBase Force Plates by Meloq, a dual plate system that captures peak force, rate of force development, balance sway, left versus right asymmetry, and real-time force production graphs for jumps, isometrics, and functional movements. Let's see what makes it one of the most practical tools for coaches and clinicians. Hey everyone, my name is Dr. David Lauzurique. I'm a doctor of physiotherapy, strength coach, and owner of Base Strength, where I review strength and rehab equipment to help you make smarter decisions on what equipment to buy. Today I'll be reviewing the EasyBase Force Plates by Meloq, from the specs and how to use it to help you make a better decision on whether these force plates are the right ones for you. So the EasyBase by Meloq is a dual force plate system designed to measure how much force you can produce and how fast can you produce it. It captures detailed data like peak force, rate of force development, asymmetries between limbs, and balance control. So inside the EasyForce app, you have access to 5 different test modules and 17 different assessments. Each test provides key metrics, result diagrams, and access to client management systems where you can view training history and complete client overviews to track progress over time. So the EasyBase Force Plates are built like high-end lab equipment. Each plate weighs just over 10 pounds, it's made from anodized aluminum, and even has laser engraved foot markings, which helps to ensure consistent setup every time. That way you always maintain the same foot and hand position when performing repeated tests. So the EasyBase is pretty compact. They're about 17.7 by 12.8 inches and about 2 inches thick, yet capable of handling forces up to 12,000 newtons or about 2,700 pounds for us Americans. Alright, so you also get these super cool RGB LED lighting on the corners of each force plate, which just gives it an awesome aesthetic, and it just helps with customizing the colors to your clinic, your brand, or even just the seasons or holidays, or just picking your favorite color. For me, I absolutely love how it looks with the green color. I think that matches perfectly with that blue aesthetic from Meloq. Overall, the build quality feels premium, right? Durable, solid. I throw them in the back of my car. I use them all over the clinic for the last 6 months now, and overall they still look and feel like new. All right, so who is this for? Honestly, I think this is a game changer and pretty much very good for your clinicians, your rehab specialists, and even coaches, especially your physiotherapists, your athletic trainers, or anyone in the rehab world who's working with athletes recovering from injury, or even your coaches who are looking to improve athlete performance. If you're training someone who is post ACL reconstruction, meniscus repair, or any type of lower body or upper body injury, the EasyBase gives you objective data beyond what you can see with the naked eye. Sure, you might notice a weight shift during a squat or landing, but with the EasyBase, you can actually quantify how much asymmetry there is between limbs during something like jump squats or an isometric test. That kind of data helps guide rehab, track progress across those long 9 to 12 month recovery timelines, and make more informed return to sport decisions. It's also great for strength coaches and personal trainers who want to include performance testing in their assessments. So you can track client progress over time, whether that's weekly, monthly, or every quarter, and show them real numbers to back up their training results. And it's also just as valuable for athletes themselves. Most athletes love seeing tangible proof of improvement, whether that's jump height, force output, or balance performance. Having the data in front of them is motivating, it builds trust in the process, and it helps them feel confident that their training and rehab is actually working. Alright, so out of the box, you get the 2 force plates, charging cables, and the manual. So the EasyBase also has additional accessories, that being the jump guard and the iso frame. These are not included. You do have to purchase them separately. They do help with additional testing, but they're not required to use the EasyBase. I don't own them, haven't had the chance to actually play with them, but hopefully one day I'll get my hands on them. Alright, so once you power them on, you could connect them through the EasyBase app by Meloq, and it connects very simple just through Bluetooth. You open up the app and you just connect them. You can use your iPhone or Android phone, and you could also use devices like your MacBook or iPad. You can't use them with Windows though, because you do need access to the App Store or the Play Store. That's the only way you could actually access the app. So the process of connecting is quick. Within a few seconds, the plates connect and you'll see the LED lights confirm that they're connecting. So my only small complaint is that the force plates themselves don't really tell you which one's the left and which one is the right. So when you put them on the ground and you try to connect them, the app will assign, the left and the right, and you might have them in the wrong spots and you have to pick them up and place them in the correct left and right positions. It's not much of a big issue, but it could definitely be a little bit annoying if you're trying to work fast and you're constantly putting them in the wrong position. I think a quick fix is just grabbing a marker and marking which one is left and which one is right. All right, so when you're on the app, you click on the top right on those 2 little red dots, and this is where you're going to connect them. And then from there, you'll just hit connect. So on the top right one, you'll hit connect. it's gonna find it, and once it finds it and assign it as the right, then you'll connect the left one, and boom, easy, connected. So once you have to connect them, you'll see on the top right, they're connected with the green dots, and this is your home page. So from here, you have your clients, you can start an activity, you can do a free run. So let's add a client. So let's put clients, and these are just myself and a few test ones, but let's add a new client. We'll put here, let's do another one. Let's just put David Laz. Dave Laz at Gmail. Let's just put a random 12/12/1990 free. So once you hit add, here you'll have a few little details, just if you really want to put more details about your clients. Everything from, you know, what type of activity they perform, which is their dominant foot and hand. So let's just put right for now on each of these. And you could select, like I said, their activity level, their sport, their position, their height, their weight. You could add it later. You could just add. I'm just going to put add just for now. And boom, there you have your clients. And from here, you could go ahead and even add them to different groups, right? So I made one already before, just the Obey Strength group. This is great if you're a coach and you're working with many people. If you're doing the, I don't know, U14 to 16 group, men's varsity basketball, however you want to add a group, you could do that as well. And when you have many athletes in here, you'll also have access to a leaderboard. I haven't been doing that myself. I don't really use the leaderboard, but again, if you're like a coach, I think that's going to be a great thing for you. If you go here to David Lauzurique, the bottom one, this is, I was playing with this yesterday and a few days before. So you'll have some of the past assessments like the drop push-up, single leg hop stabilization. So you can actually go back to it and see some of the data from the last time you took this. It'll show you the date and time you took it, just if you need to go back to compare to new results. So from here, let's just pick that Dave Laz. So right now you're going to see that there's no history found. So you hit that giant like plus or play button, and from here you could go ahead and you could choose what module you want to choose. So the modules are your jump module, your balance, functional module, upper extremity, and isometric module. Each one have different assessments or tests, and that's what's going to make up that 17 tests I told you in the beginning. Let me show you just a little bit of what it looks like to take someone through an assessment. We're going to the jump model, and let's say the squat jump, right? You could start it, but here you could also choose if you want to do a bipedal or just using both legs, or a single leg version. It'll give you a very quick description of what it is, and what I like is it also gives you a video. The video will actually demonstrate how to perform it. Very important, because there was even a few times when I was first using it, there was something going on, it wasn't recording the details, and that's because I was missing a step. But other than that, it's very simple, and the video explains it well. It tells you some of the key metrics, right? What it's going to be testing, like your jump height, rate of force development, concentric duration, and it gives you the text instructions in case you don't want to watch the video. What I like also is at the bottom, if you open up this toggle, you're going to have the definition and consideration. So it'll kind of explain to you about that squat jump, the considerations, but also what I really like is the references, right? They actually put references at the bottom of each of these. That way, if you do want to kind of read more about it and kind of get an idea about, you know, how reliable these tests are, you have everything there for you to read. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and take you guys to an actual live demonstration of what some of these exams or some of these tests are going to look like. We'll start with the jump model. So in the jump model, one of my favorite ones, the one I use the most, is a jump squat, or the squat jump. So we'll hit that one. Again, like mentioned before, you can see some of the instructions of how to perform it. We're going to do the bipedal one, and we're going to hit start from there. So first, it's always going to instruct you to step off the plates, and that way you can just calibrate. So from here, it's going to detect your weight. So we'll go ahead and you'll step right on it. Right, you'll step there and you'll see how it weighs. Should be about 170. Cool. So we got it there. It's going to show you your left and right, you know, color coded. We're just going to do one big squat jump. You're going to hit start, and I'm going to do it here. So I'm going to do not too much, but I'm going to do a pretty big jump. Boom. That wasn't the best jump. I'm gonna hit save from there, and boom. Again, it'll show you on the top right, again, which is your dominant foot. It'll tell you who you're working with, and you could go down here. So here you could turn these off actually, and you can see the total force that you were producing. And then you could look at your left side, you could look at the right side, you could take out the total force that you could compare. And if you go down, you can see more metrics, right? You can see here your height. From here, you can see the flight time, or the total height. What I like about these is that if you're a little lost, you don't really know much on this, you could always hit the little info or the little I, and it's going to give you more information there. So it'll give you the definitions of some of these. So let's go to, for example, peak force, or that proposed propulsion. It'll show you here your left and right. It'll also show you the asymmetry, right? It has a 6.7 asymmetry. So you could click on it and it could tell you that, right? So peak force, which is the highest force recorded during the upward propulsion phase, right? So it'll give you more of that information. You go into your rate of force development, net impulse, the impulse, peak force when landing. So it gives you a lot of this information. And what I like about this is that one, you could export it to Excel, but you could also click here to show the table of contents. So you could see it in like a bigger format here. But you could also export it, right? And you could either download it or you could email it. And when you email it, it's cool. You could put it to your client or your email so that they could receive that information as well. Or on top right, you could hit that PDF button and you could download an actual PDF or email it to you. Let's now go to a balance module, right? So this is great also for, you know, some of those clients that maybe have neurological deficits, whether it was a stroke or anything that, you know, impairs their balance. And then you want to assess that, and not just those with neurological balance, but also your athletes, right? If you want to just make sure that you're able to test their balance, this is great for that. For here, we're gonna go ahead and do a single leg stand, and we're gonna do the right foot first. So I'm gonna step right into the middle of it, and we'll go right into that, and boom. And what I like is that it's actually kind of showing you where you're standing most. If I put more in the front, more towards the back, more to the left and right. So it will give you more information about that soon. 19, 20, and boom, it'll tell you to stop. So I'm gonna switch over to the left. 13, 14, 15, awesome. So then you go ahead and you hit save. So it'll show you your medial and lateral axis. It'll also have your anterior, posterior somewhere down here as well. You can see like an eclipse, so kind of show you where like your main balance or like where you've been putting more of your pressure at. So according to this, and again, this is me just testing it, showing that I have about a 4.2% asymmetry. So if we go here, the total distance traveled by the center of pressure throughout the single leg stance period. And it tells you here the larger total displacement indicates more postural sway. So let's go back to Dave Laz. Let's go to a functional one, right? And I like here the body weight squat test. So for this one, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna stand again, we're gonna hit start, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna give you the full graph here. Again, you can see your total force. You can look at what your left foot is looking like, and then your right. So they look about equal. It looks like maybe that right, oh yeah, I forgot. I tell you, you could do these, right? Like at each second, you can kind of see where you're at, and then your total force. All right, so for this one, we're gonna do the drop push-ups. It requires a setup like this, where you can use some bumper plates, some small plates, or some boxes, something to elevate yourself. And it's basically, you're gonna go from that top position, you're gonna drop onto the force plates, go into a little push-up, and come right back and hold that. We're here, I'm gonna do a little explosive push-up. So from here, it's going to show you, you know, how much pressure you're putting on each part of the hand, and then it'll give you again, your force, how much force you're putting per side. So it looks like maybe right side. I am right-handed, so again, it looks like the right side is just producing a little bit more force. All right, so let's go a little bit over the pros and cons. So one of the first pros is that I think this is an absolute game changer for any type of rehab specialist, like I mentioned before, physiotherapists, athletic trainers, chiros, coaches, anyone who works a lot with athletes or just wants to, you know, kind of watch the performance or see the performance improve of your clients. I think this is a game changer. And it gives you objective data that you just can't see by watching the movement alone. All right, so the app is also a big plus. I think the app works great, right? It gives you clear instructions, it gives you the demonstration videos, and also gives you those research articles if you want to read further about these tests. The setup is also pretty easy. I worked with other companies, other competitors, and yes, their force plates work, right? I think all force plates work, but I think Meloq so far, the flow of it, you know, the ease of use and how quick it is to set up is a lot quicker. The only small complaint, like mentioned before, is that when you're trying to set them up on the ground and you're connecting them through the app, you don't know which one is left, which one is right. Sometimes the left one is the right and the right one is the left. So I think if they had somewhere where you could mark which one's the right, which one's the left, that would have been great. Quick fix by just getting a marker and marking it. It might be user error, it might be myself. I don't know if maybe somewhere on it, it does tell you which one's which, but as of right now, I haven't really seen that. And in terms of the price, it's definitely a pro and a con, right? The pro is that it's a one-time fee. You pay that price and you get all access to everything on here, right? It's not like you have to pay some type of monthly subscription, and then if you stop and you don't want any more, the company just comes and picks it up from you. No, the price you pay means these are yours to keep. You keep them, you have full access to all these activities, all these assessments and tests. I did speak with the owner of Meloq, and they did tell me that soon they will be adding some more premium options for those who just want a better, or I don't want to say better, but just want extra features with the EasyBase. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to limit anything that you have now. If you purchase it now and just use the free version, you still have everything that comes included, everything that I've shown you, but the premium is just going to give you a few extra things. They've hinted about AI, where it'll be able to kind of auto detect what test you're trying to run. And also it's going to allow you to just speed up testing. So if you're like a coach working with multiple people or multiple athletes, it's going to give you a better workflow. I can't talk too much on it only because I don't have all the details, but just know that premium options will come, which is going to help and be very beneficial for many rehab specialists and coaches. In terms of the price, a con would be, yeah, many people might think that it is a high price, but I think, again, this is something that's serious for people who are serious about their assessments, whether you're a rehab specialist or coach, right? This is a premium product, so you do have to pay some of that premium price. And again, it could be a con for anyone who's maybe a small business owner. Maybe they're trying to get their hands on force plates, but they just can't pay that. I understand it could be a little bit too much, but in terms of the price, I think it's very reasonable. And like I said, it offers so much, and they will also have that premium option for those who want it. All right, so final thoughts. Should you buy the EasyBase by Meloq? If you're a rehab specialist, strength coach, anyone who, again, is looking to get objective data assessments for your clients or your athletes, I think this is definitely a great, force plate brand to go with. The EasyBase gives you clear, measurable data that helps you track progress, guide rehab, and even just show clients or athletes exactly how they're improving. So the app is nice and clean, easy to use, and it's always improving. The guys over at Meloq are always finding ways how to improve the app based off the reviews given by their users. And the fact that the EasyBase is a one-time price with no recurring charges, I think is a game changer. And again, in the future, they'll be providing those premium features for those who need it. You get a professional grade force plate system without being locked into some type of monthly or yearly subscription. It's backed by the company that's actively developing and listening to feedback, which I absolutely love. Overall, the EasyBase is one of those tools that really elevates your clinic or training environment, giving you the data and visuals to support your expertise, your programming, and your clients' confidence in the process. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, give me a comment, and if you're looking for more strength and rehab equipment reviews, go ahead and give me a follow, and check out the EasyBase down in the description. You can find a link towards it and some of my socials as well. Have a great one. Thanks.